How many of you have actually sat down, talked to your friends, or made the comment, who are we? Where did we come from? North America is, it's a land that brags about our immigrants that come here, but have actually no real understanding of their roots, who was here, who their ancestors were. We can trace our ancestors maybe back to Europe, Japan or India, wherever. But what about the roots that had already been formated right here in North America? We have archaeologists, anthropologists, all different branches of scientists and authors on ancient history that want to take everything back to any place other than North America. And it is my belief that North America really is the motherland. Um, well, we could actually take it back to Pangea was the motherland. It was when all the continents came together as one. And this would have been a time where everyone shared their stories. Um, and then because of the natural cataclysms that hit, the plates separated, and these continental plates separated. And so as time went by, instead of having one large continent such as Pangea, we became a continent of many and separated by water, oceans, seas, Great Lakes, whatever. But it actually breaks my heart that more people don't concentrate on finding and documenting the evidence that we have here already showing the ancient people being here in North America. Now, this would have been that we could take this time up to the Great Wars of the Gods, the Atlantean and Lemurian Wars. We can follow it up to the days of Troy, and that was one of the final battles. This is there was many of the continents that had already become had been sunk underwater, but there was still some that was still remaining. And Plato talks about the last remnant of Atlantis. Edgar Casey also does the same thing. Hi, Lee Pennington. Boy, I better just kind of straighten up here if you're here listening, huh? We got, because I know that you're so devoted to tracing down the ancient ones as well. But as I say, it saddens me that there's so many people that so concentrate on other worlds. And I mean, that's good. I mean, I can't take away the fact that we need, we do need researchers going out there looking for other evidence, but we also need more qualified, well, heck, even unqualified researchers finding out what we can find here in North America, documenting it, and standing behind our research and standing behind North America as the motherland. I also think that that with me, I don't go to the other countries. Not that I can't afford to, not because I'm afraid to or anything like that, but I just feel that somebody has to stay here on this, here in North America, to be able to work with what we have already discovered here and get it documented and get it as part of our history. There's I've been wanting to get up to Nova Scotia area because, and I'll talk about that in another episode, but right at this point in time, I want to talk about the legend of Garuda and Kadru, Kadru, Garuda and Kadru, or Kadru, however you decide that you want to pronounce it. But it's very, very important because the the best place to hide something is in plain sight. I'm sure all of you have heard that time and time and time again. And it's true though. And the the and who we are as a people can actually be, it's actually put into our faces every day. But it's for us, for them to know and for us to find out, basically. The legend of how many you've seen these these flags. You've seen like the Mexican flag, Mexico's coat of arms, or the Great Seal of the United States, where you see an eagle holding a snake in its mouth. All right. Well, and most people look at that and think that the serpent, or that the eagle is eating the snake. No, absolutely not. It's not true. The eagle is holding the serpent, and it's all told in the legend of Garuda and Kadru. And at this point in time, I want to read it because I have it in my book, Lost in Time, and I also have it in my book, The Red-Haired Giants. And I'll continue keeping it in my books and keep talking about it because it is so important that we do realize this, what this is all about. Because you have to realize that if they're telling us who we are as a people, and Mexico, South America, Central America, the United States, and Canada, and this all goes back to the stories of the Anunnaki, of the visitors from another world that came here and worked with our ancient ancestors in creating a new man, in creating new technology, and creating the religions that we have today. And so let me go in here. I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to read from my book because I write much better than I talk. The legend of Garuda and Kadru is depicted on both the Mexican's coat of arms and the Great Seal of the United States. An ancient legend is preserved of Kadru, who was claimed to have been the mother of serpents, where she compelled Garuda, the eagle, to serve her sons by transporting them across the sea to a beautiful country in a distant land, which was inhabited by Nagas, who were also known as Magas and Magi. Now, you may have heard the term Magi because the Magi were the ones that came bearing gifts at the birth of Jesus Christ. But I found in my book, I show an ancient map where there's a serpent coming out of the land of North America. And this map with that serpent depicts the idea that it was the land of the serpent people. We are the serpent people, but I'll get to that soon, okay? Going back to my book. Now, my books can be purchased. You can have an autographed copy of my books by just going to burlingtonnews.net/books, or you can purchase them at Amazon or Barnes & Noble, local news or bookstores, etc. Now, digging further into the accounts of Garuda, I came to realize that the eagle may be a representation of a flying craft, a UFO. An account lending credence to this theory can be found in the 4th century Purana, stating that Zamba, having built a temple dedicated to Sira, which was the sun, made a journey to Saka, like or it's Dwipa, Saka Dupa. Sorry, I slaughtered the heck out of that. But anyhow, Saka Tuapa, located beyond the salt water in search of the Nagas. He is directed in his journey by Sura and journeys to the western lands following the sun, riding upon Garuda, the flying vehicle of Krishna and Vishnu. He lands at last among the Nagas. And I apologize for butchering that Sakadwapa to pieces as I did. The Puranas give the name of Atlantis as Sakadwapa. And according to the 1974 Sanskrit dictionary, Sakadwapa means island of the fair-skinned people. The Mahabharata also refers to the inhabitants of Atalan as fair-skinned. The men have according to the Mahabharata, the men have complexions as white as the rays of the moon and are devoted to Narayana. The importance of the story behind the serpent people getting help by the feathered people must have been very important, that even today it is still being depicted on both Mexico's coat of arms and the Great Seal of the United States of America, showing the ribbon, which represents the serpent, being carried in the mouth of the eagle. The combination of the union of the two creates the name of the feathered serpent, bringing forth the legends of the feathered serpent. According to Sumerian history, there were two sons of Anu fighting for control over heaven and earth, Enki and Enlil. The followers of Enlil were referenced as the eagle, who had little or no empathy for humans. The Greeks knew him as Zeus. Enki, also known as Poseidon, Neptune, or our creator, and his followers were represented by the serpent. The people in the legend of Kadru and Garuda, through the symbolic feathered serpent, will become more apparent for the readers as they go on in my following pages. So that is going to be that is what I have written in my last two books on this, and I hope that you appreciate it. There's you can go on Google and type in the Garuda and Kadru, and you get very, very little. And I think that legend is one of the most important legends that ever existed for us. And it tells us who we are. We're the products of genetic manipulation through the Anunnaki. And when the Anunnaki split, the two brothers split up and went to war against each other. One started. It was like when Moses spoke to God on the mountain. He says, "There's only you shall have no other god before me." Now, just according to the words of Jehovah or Moses, there's an admittance right there that there were other gods at that point in time, and they were, and these gods were forcing the people to take sides, and some chose the side of Enlil, and the others chose the side of Enki. And so one becomes the feathered, well, one becomes the eagle, the other one becomes um, it would be the serpent. And then the two coming together in with with bringing the serpent people here to back here to North America would show that at one point in time the two came together as one. Um, I am still looking for more and more information on this, and I'm sure that it's out there, and but it's very, very difficult to find. But there, it has. I'm thinking it might still have to do with prophecy because of the fact that the United States still carries this as the Great Seal of the United States, and Mexico has it on their coat of arms. So I mean, it bears to the right people. It bears something of extreme importance, and through my books, I think that you might find the answers if the people that do buy my books, and they're not they're not like what you usually find out there, because I don't take information I find on the internet and just put a spin on it. Um, I try to find outdated books. I try to find lost books, print books. I I talk to the people to get local legends. I try to find the common denominators. I'm not afraid to pick up a rock and look underneath of it. I'm not afraid to go down certain paths that other people are afraid to go down to get my information. Um, some people, they don't like that about me, I guess, because they think that that's because I follow the path of the evil one. But somebody has to go out there and find these stories, and sometimes I have to go to places that I don't feel very comfortable in going. But truth is truth, and it needs to be it needs to be shared with everyone. And so in this book that I've got out right now, Lost in Time, and I'm getting republished through Amazon. I tell the legends of Garuda and Kadru, but I also show where a lot of the Native Americans actually originated from. I tell the story of the genocide of the mound builders, where they started, where they came from, or where they originated. The same thing, repeat, repeat, repeat. But where they came from, but how they were forced out of North America into Mexico, into the Yucatan. How how they were the precursors of the Aztec and the Mayan Indian. A lot of people see them as the Toltec. That I've always found fascinating, because they were the last ones to be able, had the knowledge to open up these dimensional doorways. But anyhow, my books are very, very good. They're very important for anybody that's interested in the true documentation of North America, the motherland. I tell about how Appalachia was Atlantis, and and where the great empire of Atlan was. And Atlan is just a root form of Atlantic, or Atlanta, Atlantean. So everything shows that I have in my book shows that Atlantis was probably most likely right here. A lot, and with the sinking of the land masses, a lot of it sunk, and it's just starting to come forth a little bit at a time today. But anyhow, so I appreciate your comments. I appreciate all of you popping in to listen to this. I think what I'd like to do is start doing shows just on my books to help inform you, because I know a lot of you haven't gotten the books. I would appreciate it if you would start buying them, because by buying them, you help support me financially where I can continue with my research. Um, but so get out there and purchase my books. That's an order. but uh, but anyhow, I know that you guys all appreciate me because of how many people are following me. I've gotten back to working on my websites now too, burlingtonnews.net, and we have millions of followers on that website. I mean, literally millions. And some of it comes, some of it comes from Facebook, some of it comes from YouTube, but most of it comes from people just Googling on things such as ancient America, ancient traditions, whatever, and then they come up with my website, and then they go to it. So anyhow, I've been putting a lot of this information now out there on my website. I will be not only putting information on my websites and not having, and also having my books, but I'll also be doing these types of shows too. If it pertains to North America, I will be happy to mention your books. And like I said, that this type of show that I'm doing here, this is all going to be on on my books or my documentation of North America. I encourage you all to go to my YouTube site, my YouTube channel. I imagine all you'd have to do is just type in and search Mary Sutherland, and it will take you right to my channel. If not, I can always put up a link later where you can go, because I have a lot of these shows already put up. But I want to start getting some more put up, because since since last year I put out one book, and Lost in Time Revisited. Now I'm redoing this one book on, on Lost in Time, and then I also want to get up my other book through Amazon, and that one's Living in the Light, Believe in the Magic. Our ancient people, that is what they did. I mean, they didn't have the type of religion we have today. It's not a corporate religion. It's just basically you go in there and they tell you how to act, who to vote for, and who who to who to love and who to hate. The old religions was all based on love and the metaphysical world, and I think that's very important. The religion of Osiris was all based on love. Love is God. God is love. I mean, how much more simpler can you get? And it covers everything. So I mean, and I think that we need to go back to the old religions, because it's very this world that we're living in right now is so full of darkness. It's very difficult to live the way we've been living, and it's causing the earth to reject us, as you can see with the volcanoes and the severe weather. Um, they're rejecting us like we're parasites of some sort, which we've been acting like. We have to come back together, and I don't know what we're going to do with all these narcissistic people that's come out of the closet. It's I might be doing another show later on today about 4 o'clock on living in a narcissistic world. So that'll be a different show. I want to put out different types of shows, and then we'll keep them all up on YouTube and on my websites. So thanks for stopping in. Today's show was The Legend of Garuda and Kadru, and how and the origin of the feathered serpent. This is Mary Sutherland, and here, let me show you somebody we haven't seen for a very, very, very long time. Let's see. There he is. There's our Max. There's our Max. There's our little buddy. We love him so. We almost lost him this year. He started having heart failure. But we found a good doctor for him. She gave him the right medications. He's on meds now, and he's just as good as he ever was. Right, Max? You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi to everybody? That's our Max. That's our Max. It's all about Max when it comes right down to it. But folks, and I'm all about proving to the world that North America was the motherland, that it all began here. You read my books, go to burlingtonnews.net/books, and you'll see all the books I have written with proof positive that this was a very, very ancient civilization that lived here a long time ago. These people walked with the dinosaurs, and that makes them a little bit older than teenagers. It does make them a new world. It was a new world found by Columbus, yes. A new world for them. It was a new world, but it's not a new world according to age. All right. And so now we got the story of the coming together of the serpent and the eagle. So, and the coming together of the feathered serpent. So this is just part one, and we'll do another show later. Okay, maybe I'll see you around 4 today. Thank you. And if you like my shows, please tell other people about them. Share them on your websites. And go to my YouTube, click like and subscribe. I'm not asking for your money there, but this is with the number of subscriptions and the clicks of like, that's how you get the attention of YouTube. And when you get to a certain amount, then they start putting them out for more and more people to see. So I really need your likes and your subscriptions, okay? And so have a blessed day, and I'll probably talk to you guys again around 4 o'clock. Thank you. Bye now. Have a wonderful day.